Welcome back in to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Medic Regional Blood Center. Right now, Medic is in need of the universal blood, O negative. It can go to anyone in need. That's why they need it. It's what's used in most emergency rooms. It's also my blood type. So I'll tell you what, I'll give blood to Medic this week, and I pray that you will too. O negative, that's what they need, although they're not going to turn anybody else away if you're A positive or whatever some of the other blood types are. But O negative is what they need. Medic Regional Blood Center. All right, quick questions. This is a very quick segment because I want to save time for the next one, so I'm going to give you 30 seconds a pop. Bob, Jeremy Pruitt said this week, well, I guess it was last week, that Darren Kirkland Jr. may never play again due to injuries. Not a terrible surprise, but how big of a loss would that be for this Tennessee defense?
Well, if you look on his potential, you're talking big loss. If you look at what he's actually contributed, I mean, he's a good football player. I thought he had an NFL future in front of him. The injuries meant he was a spotty player off and on. I don't think it's going to mean that much as far as your defense wins and losses. I mean, you hate it for the kid, just simply because this has been the story of his career.
Okay. Josh, and again, 30 seconds. Word got out this week that Tennessee has asked 2020 four-star point guard prospect Jalen Cone to reclassify as a 2019 prospect. Am I reading into that, or do you think that tells us that this coaching staff doesn't think Jordan Bone will be back?
Yeah, you can probably read something into it, that Tennessee might be ready to go from Bone to Cone at the point guard position. And I think Jordan Bone, when he declared, his full intention is to be playing professional basketball next season. Minds, opinions can change. He can go through the process, and he could have a change of heart, but I think that's what it would be for Jordan Bone to come back. So I think Tennessee staff is preparing to have Jordan Bone be gone next season.
David, Grant Williams this week had a press conference. You hear a press conference and you think, oh, okay, he's going to tell us that he's decided to go or he's decided to stay. No, he just called a press conference to tell us exactly what we all knew, and that was he's going to test the waters, may go, may stay. We don't know. Why call that press conference?
It's a good question. I was sitting there and it finished, and I was kind of looking around. What did we do here? I think his decision's interesting because I think he's going to be a very different player in the pros than he will be in college. If he comes back next year, he's still going to live on the block. And I don't think he's going to live on the block in the NBA. He's going to probably be a corner three guy, or if he's going to make an NFL or an NBA future, he's going to have to change his game. So that's a really curious decision, but not as curious as the press conference itself.
He has an NFL body.
Yeah.
So
he does. Tight end, put him out there.
Jimmy, Tennessee hired 30-year-old Kim English, former Missouri star from the University of Colorado this week. Rob Lanier, who just left, had been with Barnes for 10 years. He was 50 years old. The associate name has not been handed to Kim English to my knowledge yet. They hired him as an assistant, not as associate head coach. Do you think he was hired to replace Lanier, or do you anticipate more moves on this staff, including possibly promotions from on staff?
I think there could be more moves. I don't know that Kennesaw State has hired anybody yet. Desmond Oliver is in the thick of that one. And I think that Barnes probably wants to sit back and see where everything shakes out. I'm not sure that he's hiring English to be an associate head coach, but I'll say this. Everything I've heard about English is positive, from his recruiting, from his coaching, from his ability to relate to players. I think he's a very good hire for Tennessee staff.
Great reputation. I talked to somebody who's a Missouri person yesterday who went on and on and on about how great a hire this is. So, but I don't think necessarily it's a one-for-one. So, all right, when we come back, who had the best week in Big Orange Country? Barnes, Harper, Fulmer, Boyd, somebody else? Come on back. We'll discuss.